everything lies within the scope of the basic space of phenomena, a single lucid expanse. With no time frame, this spaciousness is equal to space itself. Samsara is primordially pure, a timeless and spontaneously present state of utter relaxation.
Good morning.
Hey, Terry.
Good morning.
Hi, Sally.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We're going to be reading the 9th section today. The word that comes up a lot in the book is holy, but holy with W-H-O-L-L-Y, like containing everything, boundless, open, right? So, and I keep saying that, and I suddenly went like, people are maybe hearing holy, H-O-L-Y, which is something that maybe resonates, right? But it's a word that seems to be avoided a lot in this corner of the galaxy. But really, if you feel into it, when sometimes we have that openness and our heart starts blossoming and it's open, if you want to call that holy, I think that's beautiful. Why not, right? Let's take a breath together and really arrive and step out of autopilot. Just being here. Hi everyone, so nice you came on a Thursday afternoon. This is quite beautiful. The reading Longchenpa together. That is for me maybe the greatest wisdom that is available in this world. So, and then we make it resonate. So let's set the intent together. If you close your eyes and feel into your heart, feeling the innocence of your heart and also its profound wisdom, its potentiality. May the sounding of the wisdom of Longchenpa, no other than my wisdom potentiality, awaken for the benefit of all beings. Maybe then invite the whole pantheon of all the realized ones, all those that became awakened and enlightened, just put them around you. You can get as creative as you want. Maybe there are so many it could fill a stadium, or maybe just the 4 that really resonate for you. It doesn't matter. But having kind of that support, have them be here like a real life presence, smiling upon us, smiling upon you, encouraging you, being so delighted with the beauty of the way you keep your heart in mind. And don't let any limiting beliefs get in the way with what an incredible yogi you are. And this is really amazing what we are doing here. Let's take another breath. Really letting this resonate in your beingness, right? In your awareness. So metabolizing it through the profundity of the boundless wholeness of your awareness. And let mind kind of recede into the background and let awareness just come out, come forth in all directions. Because we are indeed at pointing at something that is not a thing, but from that perspective arises as everything. There are actually no words. And Longchenpa ended up being maybe the one that was the most exact in his poetic painting with watercolors way of pointing at the nature of mind. So he's just pointing the way home for us, which is right here, right now, in our collective and in our hearts, in our collective hearts, in its every awareness and in its deepest intimacy. So here goes Longchenpa. Within the single expanse of mind, supremely spacious by nature, awakened mind equal to space is pivotal. Focus on this key point and distill it to its vital essence. It is the greatest of the great, wholly positive and spacious, enlightened mind. In its very essence, it thoroughly shatters the outer confines of reality. Within this single vast expanse, there is no duality of realization versus its lack, of freedom versus its lack, but a supreme state of equalness. A Garuda, whose wings have grown within the egg, abides in the expanse of the sky once it breaks out of the egg. It overwhelms nagas and crosses directly over abysses. So also a fortunate yogin who has realized the Vajra heart essence just as it is. The pinnacle of all spiritual approaches, outshines those following lower approaches and crosses directly over the abyss of samsara. The freedom of everything, abiding in the supreme state of equalness, is unacceptable to those involved in cause and effect, effort and achievement. But in the most sublime approach, it makes perfect sense as the ultimate meaning of unwavering equalness. The equalness of all things arises, all things arising as the fabric of awareness. Everything is supreme. Everything is supreme bliss, equal to space itself, the expanse of Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya, source, the ultimate truth, boundless wholeness, the origin of all things. Everything is supreme bliss, equal to space itself, the expanse of Dharmakaya. There is nothing that is not free within the expanse of Dharmakaya. Notice how beautiful that is. There is nothing that is not free within the expanse of Dharmakaya. The true nature of everything is experienced intuitively as the kaya of the Vajra heart essence, kaya, body. The dynamic energy of this heart essence is perfect within the body born of habitual patterns. Once the body of conditioned existence between birth and death is cast off, awareness is experienced as a oneness, in no way divisible. Once one has gained the empire on the level of spontaneous presence, emanations occur without restriction. And one can engage in every situation without impediment. Basically aiming at the arising of the boundless wisdom energies. Such is the domain of a yogin who is effortlessly born on the wind. While this is unacceptable to anyone involved in lower spiritual approaches, we don't like those lower approaches. We'll talk about those another time. It is shown by the Ati approach to make perfect sense. It is the key point of the fruition. The lower approaches, they just say that a little, he says that a little haphazardly. It means, you know, the path of accumulation and slower realization, climbing up the ladder of realization with all the relative practices, like what we said earlier, faking it until you get there. And now this is more, that's that one. And then our practice is faking it while being there, faking it while you get there. So already being enlightened while being in the process of enlightenment, already being realized while being in the process of being realized. So just notice the beautiful, boundless brightness and immediacy and loving presence of luminous awareness. Just metabolizing and realizing that what we are hearing is our own hearts resonating. While this is unacceptable to anyone involved in lower spiritual approaches, it is shown by the Ati approach to make perfect sense. It is the key point of the fruition. Since the magical illusion of origination occurs within what has no origin, it is the ordinary confused mind that characterizes things as involving causality. What the Ati approach reveals as the absence of causes or conditions makes eminently perfect sense, although it is unacceptable in lower approaches. Okay, Ati is like synonymous with Sochen, or keeping our mind in the enlightened state while getting there. The intent and conduct of Buddhas and ordinary beings are not separate. So it's the ordinary confused mind that holds samsara and nirvana to be duality. What the Ati approach reveals as non-dual makes eminently perfect sense, although it's unacceptable in the lower approaches. I can't help it. It's sitting right there. Once I tried to jump it and go like, yeah, that's not right either. Okay, let's take a breath together. I was a little distracted by it. Here we go. Given the freedom in which it is irrelevant whether or not one has realization, to believe that freedom comes about through realization is the enemy of equalness. What the Ati approach reveals as a single state of equalness makes eminently perfect sense, though it's not unacceptable in the lower approaches. To hold that one cannot realize the inexpressible without relying on specific means to characterize it as a fool's attitude. What the Ati approach reveals as inseparability from the ultimate makes eminently perfect sense, although it's unacceptable in the lower approaches. Although great perfection is timeless and infinite, without fixed depth or extent, to claim that it's unfathomable is a fool's attitude, like a limiting belief. What the Ati approach, the Sochen approach, reveals as a boundless unique state makes eminently perfect sense, although it is unacceptable in the lower approaches. The usual order of things is reversed within the single sphere of being. And so hope and fear concerning the fruition are cut through a state equal to space. So vast, so supreme, the enlightened mind of victorious ones is equal to space. Victorious ones, the Buddhas, or the already awakened ones. So fast, so supreme, the enlightened mind of victorious ones is equal to space. So since we are not walking the lower approach, we're already there, right? Here it is. So just take a breath and be enlightened right now. That's it. It's not going to get any better. And then yet it will. And yet no, yet yes. from this wide open perspective, the boundless wholeness or Dharmakaya, there's nobody out there, right? So there it is. You're listening to the beauty and the wisdom of your own wisdom heart. Hear yourself with a capital S. The timeless awakened awareness, this timeless awakened awareness that entails no object, does not wander in samsara, for it's beyond all basis for confusion. No one at all is confused, for there is no context for confusion. Everything lies within the scope of the basic space of phenomena, a single lucid expanse. With no time frame, this spaciousness is equal to space itself. Samsara is primordially pure, a timeless and spontaneously present state of utter relaxation. Being there while getting there. Are you there? Anything that says no is a limiting belief, because you can't be any other than being there. You've always been there. But let Longchenpa say it a little more profound. One does not enter a state of freedom or attain nirvana. The unchanging vast expanse, samsara and nirvana, have never known existence. Wow. Here there is no frame of reference for renunciation or attainment, hope or fear, but rather a supremely spacious expanse that is the primordially enlightened ground of being. All things are mere labels, for in actuality they are beyond characterization or expression. So there it is. Can't figure it out. You can only be it. Having decisively experienced that samsara is not confusion and nirvana is not freedom, let no one make any effort. So any effort takes you away. Let no one try to meddle with or alter this. No one, including you and me. Awareness with no breadth or depth is not subject to restrictions or extremes, so give up any frame of reference. Awareness involving no plans or actions, no coming or going, entails no time frame or antidote. So drop reification and effort. If there is a deliberate frame of reference, it is a cause of bondage. Do not rely on any fixed construct whatsoever. Let go in evenness. Let go in evenness. Let go in evenness. It is of no concern whether or not all phenomena are timelessly free. It is of no concern whether or not the way of abiding is pure by nature. It is of no concern whether or not mind itself is free of elaboration. It is of no concern whether or not anything has ever existed within the fundamentally unconditioned, genuine state. It is of no concern whether or not samsara and nirvana are by nature a duality. It is of no concern whether or not all thoughts and expressions are transcended. It is of no concern whether or not confused attempts at proof and refutation are demolished. It is of no concern whether or not the view to be realized has been realized. How can one become realized if one is already realized from the very beginningless beginning? Just come on home. It's of no concern whether or not you meditate on the ultimate meaning of the true nature of phenomena. It is of no concern whether or not you engage in examination, since there is nothing to accept or reject. It is of no concern whether or not the way of abiding has ever existed as the fruition. It is of no concern whether or not you have traversed the paths and levels of realization. It is of no concern whether or not you are free of all obscurations. That's huge. It is of no concern whether or not you're free of all obscurations. Otherwise, we will wait for enlightenment for eternity. And we kind of have. It is of no concern whether or not the development and completion stages perfect your true nature. The development and completion stages are those lower approaches, right? We don't like those. It is of no concern whether or not the fruition or liberation is attained. It is of no concern whether or not you wander in the 6 states of samsara. It is of no concern whether or not the nature of being is spontaneous presence. It is of no concern whether or not you are bound by dualistic perceptions of affirmation and denial. It is of no concern whether or not you have arrived at the enlightened intent of the true nature of phenomena. It is of no concern whether or not you follow in the footsteps of masters of the past. He's kind of going for the juggler there, cutting our legs away and everything. He's just cutting everything away. Sometimes all we have is like, oh, my sweet practice. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to deal with this life. There is nothing you can deal with while being in bright, open, luminous, loving, awakened awareness. No matter what arises, no matter what arises, even if heaven and earth changes places, there is a bare state of relaxed openness without any underlying basis, without any reference point, nebulous, ephemeral, and effervescent. This is the mode of a lunatic, free of duality, of hope and fear, with unbiased view and meditation. Ordinary consciousness that is caught up in reification collapses. Ordinary consciousness that is caught up in reification collapses. Yeah, collapse all reification. Higher up in the light. Prior to thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perceptions and limiting beliefs, there is the bright light of awareness. Prior. Again, with unbiased view and meditation, ordinary consciousness that is caught up in reification collapses, Without the entanglements of wishful thinking, there is no thing to strive for or achieve. Let whatever happens, happen, and whatever manifests, manifest. Let whatever occurs, occur, and whatever is be. Let whatever is anything at all be nothing at all. Wow. Again, let whatever happens, happen, and whatever manifests, manifest. Let whatever occurs, occur, and whatever is be. Let whatever is anything at all be nothing at all. A page and a half left. With your conduct, unpredictable, you make the final leap into awareness. Without the slightest basis for determining what is spiritual or not. And so this bare state with no reference point is beyond the cage of philosophy. I mean, Sojin he's even saying it's beyond spirituality. How about that? Maybe you don't even want to come back anymore. This is like crazy. And so this bare state with no reference point is beyond the cage of philosophy. Whether eating, moving around, lying down, or sitting, day and night, you rest in infinite openness. I read that wrong, but it sounded good. In infinite evenness. So that you experience the true nature of phenomena as their equalness. There are no gods to worship, no demons to exercise, nothing to cultivate in meditation. Nothing to cultivate in meditation. That's nearly a little scary to drop. This is the completely ordinary state. With this single state of evenness, the uncontrived ruler that has no pride, there is oneness, a relaxed, unstructured openness. Right here, right now, on your seat. How delightful. Things are timelessly and short without having to be done. And being free of effort and achievement, you are content. Terry is talking about the automaticity of awareness awakening to itself, by itself, from within itself. How beautiful is that? Enlightenment just happens all on its own. Step out of the way. Given that there is no basis for the view or specific context for meditation, there is no factor of conduct or fruition to accomplish. Since everything is infinitely uniform in undifferentiated equalness, there is no need for concerted effort in the absence of any fixed dimension. You are content. Yeah, let this awareness be self-contented. It doesn't need any movement or anything. It's content in itself. And then, yes, the ocean ends up delighting in its waves. Let it flow. Since there is no speculation, ordinary ideas of achievement come to an end. Since there is nothing to abandon, antidotes, constricting fixations are transcended. There is not the slightest sense of there being anything or everything, or even something that is or is not. All right. And so whatever manifests, whatever arises, is inevitably free. Okay. We need to hear that again. There is not the slightest sense of there being anything or everything or even something that is or is not. Phenomena are ineffable. They do not exist as timelessly free, naturally free, or not free. And so the single state of evenness with no reference point is beyond being any phenomenon that could be decisively experienced. Within the spacious expanse, the spacious expanse, the spacious vast expanse, I, Longchenpa Wisdom, for whom the lucid expanse of being is infinite, experience everything as embraced within a blissful expanse, a single non-dual expanse. I, not so Grangdrol, have reached the point of natural freedom where phenomena resolve. Phenomena release, liberate. Unchanging, spontaneous presence is the pinnacle of my excellent counsel. Moreover, you who follow my example bring everything together thus within the timeless range of a single vast expanse. In this way, you will gain the ongoing state of authentic being on the level of Samantabhadra, Kuntasangpo, the primordial Buddha, the vast expanse, the beingness within you. This is the ninth section of the precious treasury of the basic space of phenomena, demonstrating the decisive experience that one comes to concerning all phenomena within the expanse of awakened mind. But that's the end of that section. Let's take a breath together. Nothing to hold on to. It has liberated all your difficult mind states. Be free. So let's sit in that freedom for like maybe another 8 minutes. Let's sit together. Just flow out to each other from beingness. Just resonating together in our bright luminosity. Just rest into the knowing. Rest into the knowing of all things. And rest into the knowing of knowing. Everything holy within the holy expanse. Chân nhu chi nup chẳng sông bề mai ghê giờ đông po lao yat sinh cho quy nup drup nhẹ bề mai dung nê Giêsu đrak cô đưa con rơ mang bố cô ye ki Giêsu đã được ki yin ye lập shir shek su so Guru be my city. So good to sit with you. On behalf of all beings, thank you for your beautiful practice. All right, as always, we will end with the last paragraph of the book. Being there while getting there. Guess I was running with that one. Okay. By this virtue, may all beings without exception effortlessly reach the primordial ground. May they become spiritual rulers who spontaneously accomplish the two kinds of benefit, dwelling on the level of Samantabhadra without transition or change. In all directions, may there be well-being, splendor, and wealth, so that everything that is wished for is spontaneously accomplished, as though in a pure realm. May the drum of spiritual teachings resound and the victory banner of liberation be raised. May the sacred teachings never wane, but spread and flourish. This text, entitled The Precious Treasury of the Basic Space of Phenomena, composed on the slopes of Gangri Tokar by a yogin of the most sublime spiritual approach, Longchenpa Wisdom, is now completely finished. Good fortune, good fortune, good fortune. Love you very much. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening. Sleep well, especially you troopers on the East Coast. not falling asleep. Bye,
Thank
dear.
you, Dima. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're amazing.